Concerning me, peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion, the MMA expert, and the super genius, among other things. And we're also joined right now by Fear the Jits. Now, Fear the Jits is someone who trains in MMA, and we'll leave it at that. He may or may not reveal more. So we've got that kind of situation going on. And we're talking about Hendo versus Fedor. This thing is supposedly going down. There have been a lot of rumors, and I think it's coming down at the end of July, around July 30th. We're going to get info for the Fear the Jits. And I think this is going to be done at a catch weight of 220 pounds. Now, we've got Fedor, the last emperor, and doing all that type of stuff. And we've known his history and how awesome he's been in the world of MMA. Although, you know, he's had a couple losses now. Versus Dan Henderson with the H-bomb, who is the current Strikeforce light heavyweight champion after taking out Fedor in explosive fashion with that famous right hand of his. Now, I'm going to talk about this thing in detail and break it down of what I think. First, I want to get Fear the Jits in here, talking about the specifics of what's going down here and getting his opinions. Jits, what's up with this? This is an unbelievable fight. This thing, I think, is going to do massive numbers. A lot of people are going to be geeked up for it. What is going on with the details of this, and what do you think about this fight?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, JDV. I think this is going to be the biggest Strikeforce show to date. I think it's going to sell the most buys, and the fight has been confirmed. It will take place July 30th in Chicago, Illinois, and it will be live on Showtime. And it will be at a catch weight of 220 pounds, heavyweight. And I pretty much see Fedor taking this one. I don't like Henderson at that weight. I mean, he struggles to make 205, honestly. He's got a little water weight that he's got to get on to make that. And I'm looking forward to it in a way, but I'm not, because I'm a big Hendo fan, and I just don't see how he's going to pull this one out.
You know, I got to agree with you. I don't like Hendo at 220. I love Hendo. I remember when he fought Rampage, and it looked like that was a little too much weight for him too. Now, he was able to get it done there against Fedor. I can't remember exactly if he came in toward, you know, at the limit. I don't think that he did. I think he may have weighed in 203, 204. I can't remember exactly. But, I mean, look, you know, Henderson's an awesome athlete. He's a little bit older. The main thing for me is, I mean, look, Henderson looked great. And I think there were some other things, you know, where, you know, he looked in fantastic shape in that Fedor fight. So I'm not saying that he's physically not there. What I am saying is that for the later rounds, his endurance hasn't always been, you know, where it maybe could have been. And I think with that weight, that's going to only slow him down a little bit more. But barring all that, putting all of that aside, let's just say, you know, Henderson's fine with the weight, weighs in it, you know, with jeans, chains on, whatever, you know, and gets it all together, has, you know, that we see the best Henderson, basically. You're still dealing with Fedor. Yeah, Fedor lost twice, but how did he lose? And who did he lose to? Okay, Fedor lost to Verdum, who is a jiu-jitsu master, and he just got too comfortable and kind of hung in there and basically, you know, let himself get triangled almost. I'm not saying that, like, you know, obviously Verdum was in, but he should have gotten out of that position, and he just got a little too comfortable and got caught by someone who's great. Okay, now, that's number one. And Verdum's not a small guy, he's a big guy. You know, I can't remember exactly what he weighs. I want to say 240, 250, but anyway. And then he got beat by Bigfoot Silva in a 2-round war. And yeah, he was dominating that second round, but he lost it in that second round. With Bigfoot Silva on top of him, raining down, you know, massive ground and pound and stuff. And Bigfoot Silva probably was all of 280, 285 in that ring that night. And, you know, is, you know, very, very skilled. So, you know, now Fedor is going to be dealing with someone who is much smaller than the men that he has been facing in the cage up until this point, or in the ring or whatever, you know, wherever he was fighting. And I think that's going to make a huge amount of difference. I mean, a huge amount of difference. You know, Fedor's not going to. It's going to be very much easier for Fedor to get up off the canvas if he gets taken down. It's going to be much easier for Fedor to impose his will. I mean, I just think that is that right there is the biggest advantage in this fight, and it's a big deal. Now, the other thing is that, you know, Fedor is a lot younger than Henderson, but at the same time, you know, Henderson's always ready to go, always ready to make it into a fight. I think that there will be, you know, Fedor talked about that maybe he should have retired last time. Now, obviously, he's not feeling that way anymore, but, you know, this will be also a gut check for Fedor. How much is his heart still into it? So I'm not saying this is like, you know, oh, Henderson has no chance. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I like Fedor in this fight, but anything can happen. I think you're gonna. What's great about this fight is you're absolutely going to see explosiveness. You're going to see two guys in there that bring the fight, always want to fight, and have some of the most exciting fights in MMA. I mean, we all remember the Henderson versus Vanderlei Silva battles over there in Pride. We remember all of, you know, Fedor's fights. Fedor's always in exciting fights. And similarly, you know, with Henderson beating Fedor, that was unbelievable and very entertaining. So I think this is a very smart matchup. I think it's a great matchup. I don't like the weight, you know, favoring Henderson here, but I do think 220 is kind of interesting for Fedor because it forces Fedor to maybe lose a few pounds, not a lot, but a few pounds, and get in a little bit, you know, leaner, and maybe it's a transition towards, you know, a light heavyweight type of thing if this works out. And also the upside for Henderson is if Henderson does lose to Fedor, he still retains the light heavyweight championship. So in a lot of ways, there's a lot of things that just make sense for this fight. Jits, what do you expect to see here? How do you expect to see this fight going? And what else do you want to say in wrapping up?
Well, honestly, I think this could be the fight of the year. I mean, you look at the two past fights, win or lose, they've always came out there. They're always ready to fight. They always throw down, and they both got great chin, and they just like to throw. So, I mean, it's definitely fireworks, and I can't wait.
I love it. I can't wait either. We are excited about it. What do you think about this, MMA fans and conservative media fans? I want to hear from you guys right now. Are you for this? Are you against it? Who do you think wins? When? How? Why? How does this impact the rest of the scene? What about the heavyweight Grand Prix? What about Fedor going to light heavyweight? I want to hear all of it. What about, you know, other big matchups like Jones versus Henderson? I mean, what happens with the winner? I want to hear all of it. And what about a super fight between, look at this, what about if Fedor wins here, Fedor dropping down to light heavyweight and facing John Jones when he comes back? That could shock the world as well. That could be a super duper fight right there. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I want to hear all of it. Give me the comments below, subscribe above. I'm John D. Villarreal. That is Fear the Jits. You're watching Conservative Media, and we'll see you next time.